And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the studios of Frito Nation here in Allen, Texas. Tommy Daniels on the Allen Americans podcast. And again, if you have a small business or you're interested in putting together your own podcast, the guy you need to talk to is Mark Friedman. He's done great things with the Allen Chamber. Pretty easy to find him, too. Mark at FritoNation.com. Well, joining me this afternoon is a long-time friend, and he's been a part of Allen ISD for a long time as well. Mr. Tim Carroll, you might not know the name, but you may have seen the face around Allen football on Friday nights. How many years, Tim, have you been a part of Allen ISD and that wonderful football program?
I've been here 25 years. And
wow.
I was hired on the same night as Todd Graham. We talked about football. Todd Graham and I were hired in January of 1995.
1995 doesn't seem like that long ago, but wow.
Yeah, 25 years.
25 years. Amazing. Well, first of all, congratulations on just a great career for you at Allen ISD. When you first got hired in 95, did you think be talking to you, maybe not me in particular, but anyone talking to you in the year 2020 about your 25th anniversary with Allen?
No, you kind of don't look that far down the line. As a matter of fact, there used to be a joke. Someone used to say, well, I'm going to retire in 2020, and everybody in the room would laugh because they were all older than me and they were all getting ready to retire, and I was the young guy. So, 2020 seemed like the future, like spaceships and stuff like that. So it's not.
Everything comes back to Seinfeld, right? It reminds me of an old Seinfeld episode where Newman and Kramer are both planning their millennium.
Yep.
And it was funny because I think it was Kramer that said, do you think we'll still use napkins in the year 2000? Well, we've come a long way since 1995. They had cell phones back then, but they might have been bag phones that you plugged into the cigarette lighter in your car. Did you ever have one of those?
I had a beeper a long time ago. In the early 90s, I had a beeper, and I thought I was a bomb. I was walking around. The only people that had beepers were doctors and probably drug dealers, for all I know. But but I did have a beeper, and I thought I was a pretty important guy. And I don't know, it's kind of stupid because when you got a beep, you had to go run and find a phone. Younger people can't relate to that, but I'd get a beep, and then I'd get out of my car and go find a phone somewhere to make a phone call, which is a pretty silly thing to do. But it was technology in 1992 anyway.
You've been a part of 5 championships there with the Allen Eagles.
Yep.
You were there for the whole Kyler Murray experience. Talk about that. First of all, with the championships, any of those stand out more than the other?
I don't think there's any question that the 2008 championship was the best because it was the first. The Allen got better and better in the 2000s, and by the middle of the 2000s, they were Westerberg had been in for a couple of years. The program was really going. And we get to the end and we lose to South Lake. We get to the end and we lose to South Lake. And it's getting kind of frustrating. And it just all of a sudden we just got over that hump. It's that feeling that you finally get. And everybody, the whole town, the players, both of my kids were in high school at the time, so it was kind of extra special to me. But it was a really close game, and it was just, I don't know, there's just something about the first championship. Most athletes probably tell you the same thing. It's just after that, they're all exciting, and watching Kyler Murray was unbelievable. But that very first one, the relief that people had was just unbelievable. I couldn't sleep that night. We're down in Houston, and I remember just people just so buzzed. You'd go to a diner at 2 or 3 in the morning. There's a whole room full of Allen Eagle football fans sitting there, just couldn't go to bed. Just it was great.
I agree with you. The first championship is always special, but for me, the first one in the ECHL was equally as special because nobody thought we were going to beat South Carolina. They were the darlings of the league at the time. And we got it done.
It's pretty special.
Yeah.
Allen American's pretty special to pull that off in 2 different leagues, 2 different levels of play, really. So that's pretty amazing.
And just to point this out here, many of you already know this because you see Tim at games all the time, but Tim is a loyal Allen Americans fan. And back in the day, early years, he used to write a little column every once in a while for the Allen Americans. Remember that?
Yeah, I'm still writing a column for the Allen American newspaper. I'm still writing a column for them on and off, but yes, I do.
I meant for the Allen Americans. You'd write usually once a year? Yeah?
That's correct, too, yeah. A little bit of everything. But no, I'm a big Allen American. I've had tickets there with my buddies since the team came to town. And what year was that? Is that 2010, first season? I can't remember now.
9-10.
9-10, right.
2009, November of 2009 was the first home game, and then 2010 playoffs went to the finals first year.
I just love having a sports team in town. I'm a big sports fan, and when we got a professional team in Allen, the first thing I thought was I'm getting tickets and I'm in. So
You had the privilege of seeing Kyler Murray in high school, and you know him as well or better than anybody because, obviously you're around that football team all the time. Be honest, when you first saw him get out there on the football field, did you think he was going to be a star at Oklahoma and be the draft pick, number one overall?
Well, I'm no judge of professional football talent. You certainly wouldn't want me out there as one of your scouts, but the guy obviously had talent. That first year we lost that game, an early game to Coppell, and then he came in, I think it was the third game, and never lost a game again at Allen. So it didn't take long to figure out that he really had some talent. And obviously he could run around and people chasing him and he could outrun them. But I think the talent that surprised a lot of people is how far he could throw the ball with such accuracy. And I remember we would play Southlake. I don't know the name of the quarterback. I'm sure he ended up in the NFL. But we'd play Southlake and they'd get out there and they'd just take us apart in the backfield and on passing. And we would think, how do you get to that level where it looks like a college team on a high school field? Well, the year Kyler Murray came to us, that's what we looked like. People would watch us and they would honestly just watch the ball go by on perfect passing, long passes, short. And when things got into trouble, Kyler Murray fixed it himself. So, yeah. But no, I never would have guessed the success he had, but I certainly am not surprised by it either.
Yeah, and you're right. They did have Southlake had a couple of quarterbacks that went to the NFL. Chase Daniel's still there. He's been backup for quite a while, but he's been around for a long time. Tommy Daniels here along with Tim Carroll of Allen ISD. Well, one other thing I wanted to talk about, Tim, and a lot of people don't know this, is you're going to retire here very, very soon. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to get you on. So many wonderful years that you've sat in that office where you're sitting right now. Has it sunk in yet? Why now? Why is now the time to retire? And, you're still a young guy, too young.
Yeah, I'm young. I'm in my 40th year. I spent 15 years in Indiana doing a similar thing. And so it's just time for a change. My wife and I are looking forward to some other opportunities. And we got some pretty talented guys in my office that are going to take over for me. So you won't miss a beat here. And, retirement's a weird deal. I won't deny it. You think about it on and off, but eventually you get to the point where I can wait another year. Or you know what? Let's just do it and have some fun. Now, I will admit that I didn't plan my retirement around this pandemic, and so things are a little bit off kilter. But for me to complain about my vacation this summer in the midst of all the trouble that the world has, I'm just going to keep that to myself and say, you know what? I've got plenty of time to go on vacation. I can do it some other time.
Well, you've been very, very good to the Allen Americans organization over the years. And in particular, on Friday nights before our season starts, allowing our football players to go up in the press box and giving them a personal tour, taking guys down in the football field. I know you've taken people from around the ECHL that have come to town on tours of the entire facility, which has been amazing. So not only, like I mentioned earlier, are you a big fan of the team, but you've also been very good to the Allen Americans organization. So, Tim, for that, we say thank you. Happy early retirement, but I know we'll continue to see you at hockey games.
Absolutely. Go Red.
There you go.
And go Eagles.
There you go. In his office, maybe the last time we talked to him from that great setup that he has there at Allen Independent School District. Tim Carroll, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure.